Hi, this is David Brockett, and if you're not listening to this show, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be.
This is Ryan Whitting, and you're listening to another episode of Rockin You All Night, where we talk all things rock, all things metal, and all things with strings. And if you don't like it, then you must not rock. My guest this week is musical director, media composer, and guitar wizard, David Brockett. And we're coming at you from the Sunrise Theater in Fort Pierce, Florida. So sit back, hold tight, and get ready for Rockin' You All Night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have the absolute honor of sitting next to an absolute wizard who is one of the greatest touring guitarists in the world today. I have a man who happens to be the lead guitarist for Gary Mullen The Works on the One Night of Queen World Tour, who's a masterpiece, a true artiste. Of course I'm talking about David Brockett.
Hi, how you doing, man? Thank you for the kind words. Nice to be here.
It's the truth, dude. I mean, I don't. That's not shtick. You are one of the greatest guitarists out there, hands down. And that's not just me saying it. I mean, you have all these fans that are just wowed by everything that you do.
Well, it's again very kind of you to say that. Obviously, on this gig, you're kind of limited to what you can play because you've got to cover a certain genre of music, being Queen. Mm-hmm. So you've got to play within that framework. But you get a little bit of a chance to cut loose now and again and inject some of my own little, style into it or whatever.
That brings me to my next point. Tell me about the solo album CDs and things that you're working on, because I know you've got some stuff just ready to push out there.
Yeah. Well, I've been writing and recording for a long time. My first album was back in 1998, a long time ago, which was an instrumental rock guitar album mixed with electronic EDM style.
Was that Planet 8?
Yeah, Planet 8.
Okay.
Still available on iTunes and all the usual places. And since then, I've recorded in many other things, library CDs for different companies. But I spent a long time writing music for media, specifically television. And when this gig kicked off, at the same time I got the gig writing music for a new TV show for the BBC, which lasted about 8 or 9 years. 10 series plus 3 further spin-off series. So in between touring, I was writing music in hotels and on buses and in dressing rooms, doing up to 200 shows a year. Plus doing that, I was kind of busy for about 10 years. So I didn't have a lot of time to release my own music.
Right.
I'm still playing constantly, but it was mainly in the soundtrack world. Doing a lot of.
You're doing video game work as well, correct?
Yeah, with different people. A few things for the two big ones, Sony and Microsoft. Various projects, just as a hired hand, as a session guitar player.
You say just a session guitar, but for Sony and Microsoft, dude, that's nothing to scoff at. That's amazing to be working.
Well, there's a couple of friends of mine that are more into that scene, the video game scene, and back in the day they would be be very kind and give me the call and offer me the work. So we did quite a few things.
What would be some of the video games that your songs appear on? Do you remember?
Well, the big one was the Sony one was a game. I think it was called SingStar. It was like a karaoke thing, and you sang various artists and cover versions, and we would go in and re-record all the parts, all the guitar parts and stuff. The other bits and pieces, it was just shoot 'em ups and all that. I'm not sure of the names, but there was a few.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good fun. Good experience.
Yeah, and that's why I give it an intro like that, because I know your work is out there where it's just all, you have so much. Well,
yeah,
it's not under your name.
Hundreds of songs, yeah. I mean, the CD Planet 8, a lot of that was used on various sort of TV shows and radio stations. A couple of songs were used on a library disc company, Shake Up Music, which was fronted by a guy called Rupert Gregson Williams, who's recently just completed the music for Wonder Woman. His brother's Harry Gregson Williams, the film composer. Okay. So it was in good hands back then. You know, that was again a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. Got a few things through those guys, and the TV work led to more bits and pieces on the side. So it was good to go back after 10 years and start playing the guitar again and focusing on that. You know.
So when does the next album come out? Do you have plans for a solo album sometime soon?
I've got enough material for probably several albums, you know.
We'll get it out. What are we waiting for?
Yeah. Yeah, various guises, but yeah, we'll see. It's a possibility. The thing is, not a lot of people are buying music now. I'd rather be out playing it live.
Yeah.
Get out there and sort of doing it, you know. And it's just getting a chunk of time where I could put a band together and go out and play. But I'm on the road all the time with this, so it is difficult to.
Yeah.
But there's a will, there's a way. There's always little gaps.
When it's about the money, when it's to release, which I totally get, people aren't buying CDs or albums like they were. It's digital downloads.
Yeah.
What would be like the best way for you? Like if you're going to put out an album, do you even press a CD or do you just put it out there digitally to download?
Probably. You can put it on iTunes and Amazon Music and all that, but these guys all take their cut.
Right.
So a lot of people are just doing it themselves, off their own back, on their own website, just selling it as a digital download. But I think personally you should be out there just doing it live.
Okay.
You know, that's my thing. I've just been out there and playing to the people, you know. So I think, the way it's going, because there's so few people, you know, no one really buys CDs. People don't have CD players anymore. It's just on their phone, or, you know, it's convenience. You know what I mean? We're all guilty, you know. It's like you listen to your favourite albums on your phone with headphones, really, you know.
Yeah.
When was the last time you fired up the speakers? And I still do that when I'm back home.
Well, me
old
too.
School, you know. Yeah, there's some of us that still do that, but in general, most people are just doing the digital download thing, you know.
Yeah, my CD collection, I absolutely love, and I stay away from digital download as much as I can.
Yeah.
I still want that physical CD, and I just love that. Just having that and the packaging and all that, it just seems like it's going away because of just what you say. Whereas, who's using it, who's buying it?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a resurgence with vinyl. It's good to see vinyl coming back again. You know, the physical, the large thing you can touch and hold and read the sleeve notes and all that. So it's great. There's a lot of shops, you know, going back to selling vinyl. 'Cause it's got a unique sound. It's got a warm sound, you know.
Yeah. What's the last vinyl you bought?
I rebought one of the old R.Y.A.N albums. It was Power Slave.
Oh.
I bought that in vinyl because I always loved the album. I loved the cover as well. I just wanted the physical, you know, the physical album cover.
Yeah.
But it does sound a little bit different. I mean, I've got the original Power Slave from back in the day.
Right.
And I've AB'd it, and it does sound a little bit different. Don't know if it's better. It's just a bit louder in the mastering process. Just different, you know. But I think Power Slave, Iron Maiden, believe it or not, an album from, who knows, 1984 or something like that, a long time ago, man.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I'm trying to think. I kind of thought that was like 80.
It might be 83,
yeah.
84 something like that, 84, because
the
the live
fact
one was
checkers
85, yeah.
Find that on us.
Yeah.
Find out for us on that. So when you're talking about engineering too, like you have the artist's ear, you can pick out these little nuances and things in the sound like that. You're kind of the engineer behind One Night of Queen, correct? You're the production.
Well, I'm the what's called the musical director. Gary, the singer, he approached me back December 2001. He'd just been on television and won the TV show Stars in Their Eyes, and I'd actually played on the same bill as him. And after hearing him singing, I thought, wow, he's amazing, but he really needs a band. He was doing like a one-man solo thing,
right,
just with backing tracks. I thought, wow, if he had a band behind him, that'd be awesome. And being a huge Queen fan, massive fan of Brian May, a huge influence, I thought, wow, I could do something with that. And he approached me literally a couple of months later, and he said, I've got an opportunity to go out on the road. I need a band. Can you help me out? Can you put a band together? So I put the guys together in the space of a few weeks. We started rehearsing, a couple of different lineup changes, And about sort of 3 months after that initial meeting, we did our first show on May 21st, 2002, in Nottingham, England. It was a concert hall. So yeah, I was in sort of in charge of getting all the guys together, rehearsing.
So it was you who started One Night of Queen. We owe it to you.
Myself and Gary. Gary approached me to find the rest of the guys and put it together. Yeah, guilty as charged.
Yeah, as if that's a bad thing.
And we haven't stopped since. It's been non-stop.
17 years.
Yep, almost 17 years. And even back in the early days, we were playing like up to 175 shows a year. It was full on. So a little bit easier now, slightly less shows, but it's still pretty busy, and especially with the success of the film. So we're pretty busy this year and beyond.
Is this the most successful tour for you guys?
It must be up there. All the shows have been pretty much sold out since the start of the year, especially here in the States. It's been awesome.
Well, and the crowd, we're here at Fort Pierce, Florida tonight, here at the Sunrise Theater, and I was with you guys last night in Jacksonville at the Florida Theater, and the crowd was just wild. There wasn't one empty seat anywhere from top to bottom. I mean, just wild crowds, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the people over here, they're just a bit more animated and vocal, so they really get into it and they like the rock and roll.
Yeah.
So it's always a pleasure to play over here, but especially on this tour, like you say, it's been pretty crazy and mainly sold out. So yeah, long may it continue. Fantastic.
And I've been seeing the band since your first US tour was 2008. I can't remember if you did Phoenix in 2008 or 2009, but I've always been in the front row. From the first time that I saw, because I'm still in amazement when I see you guys. I'm like, this to me is the closest thing that we as fans will ever get to see. To seeing Queen live in their prime at their peak. It's like if you went back to 86, this is what Queen would look and sound like, or 82, or pick your year.
Yeah, sure.
I can't thank you enough, but it's like every year I see that and I'm like, wow, dude, I've traveled back in time. This is what it was like. Yeah,
well, thank you guys. That's a compliment for us. We do try and do our bit to make it present a decent show.
It's more than decent. It's the best in the world, like by far, and it's been for many, 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 many years.
Was that the Celebrity Theatre, the rotating stage?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's an awesome venue. That unique.
I was not there, and I heard the stage didn't work last time.
That's right. Yeah, it broke down, unfortunately.
See, I don't show up and things go awry.
You jinxed it, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's a cool venue, and it's pretty unique. Rotating stage. It does take a little while to get used to that, but it's awesome. It's one of my favourites. It's so different.
It's a great venue. What are your favourite tracks to play live of Queen music?
Oh, tough one.
Just one or two of your faves.
Do like Stone Cold Crazy, being a bit of a hard rock fan. Yeah. I like that. It's a good number to play live. What else? They're all fun. I like One Vision as well. It's hard to pick. We've just started playing the fast version of We Will Rock You on this too. That's good fun to play.
I love that.
It's so fast. My guitar solo, I do a little bit of a medley of some of my favourite Brian May solos. There's a track called Dead on Time. It's off of Jazz. It's quite obscure, but he's playing on it is awesome, so I do a bit of that mixed in with Princes of the Universe, my own little piece in the middle of that, and then we go into
was Ogre Battle part of that too?
Well, it was at one point, not at the moment. We actually played Ogre Battle at the start of the tour, like in a shortened version of it is an obscure number. I love it. I love Ogre Battle, but a lot of the people want the hits.
Yeah.
They want the classics, the Bohemian Rhapsodies and Killer Queen and One Bites the Dust, all the well-known stuff.
Yeah.
We get away with a little bit of the obscure stuff, but you got to be careful. You don't lose them. Keep the energy and the momentum going in the show.
When you have a time limit too, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Because I know as many times as I've seen you guys, I've always said I was like, I want Tear It Up, which I know used to be like 10 years ago. It was Tear It Up I just love that one. And In the Lap of the Gods, which I don't think I've ever heard live, but I know you guys played it like way back.
I think over the years we've probably played, I couldn't put a figure on how many Queen songs, but little snippets, even the obscure stuff like Ogre Battle, Dead on Time, just pretty much everything. You know, we really try to squeeze the little sort of Easter eggs in there for the fans. You know, because we've got to play the hits. But like Lap of the Gods, Tear It Up, they've been in the set before.
Have you done Dancer before?
Dancer? No, I've not done that. No.
Yeah, I just that one I love, and it's like that's way deep off Hot Space, but it's got the Brian's guitar solos in there are just.
Played Staying Power off of Hot Space.
Okay,
a little bit of that, you know, the funky one.
Yeah.
There's loads.
How about Son and Daughter? I bet you would just destroy
again
that.
Yeah, well, there's a couple. I mean, I'd love to do Tenement Funster, one of my favourites as well, you know.
I have a friend that is just going to love the fact that you brought up Tenement Funster.
That's a classic. We did Invisible Man on the last tour, which is a tricky one to pull off live for a guitar player. There's a lot of playing in that. It goes down well in Europe and the UK. Over here it wasn't so well known, I don't think, but it's a great up tempo and there's a brilliant guitar solo in the middle of that, so it was great fun to play that live. We've dropped it out the set for this tour. It may come back at some point.
When you do these shows and you have the time limit, I know it's tough. If there was somebody that booked you and said, you know what, we don't have a curfew, we don't have a time limit, would you do a 3-hour show? Or would the guys say that's a little bit too long?
Well, you know, we could do a 3-hour show. We've got the material there for it. As I say, we've played basically everything. A lot's depending. It's a tough gig on the vocal.
Yeah. To
sing for 3 hours at that level, in that range. I mean, we could play for 6 hours.
Right.
The 4 guys in the band, but it's a tough ask to ask anyone to sing. You know, it's different from playing an instrument. If you're singing, you've got to sort of pace yourself.
Which brings me to my next point. Why aren't you singing some of Brian's songs?
Well, good question. If I had his lovely voice, I probably would, but I'm not blessed with such a nice voice. I mean, I could sing in tune, I think, reasonably well, but
I just know fans, you know, like myself.
Yeah.
But there are many others. It's like that's the one thing that we haven't seen is like.
Love of my life.
Gary is, but can we get the other guys to sing like Queen sang?
Well, the show is focused around Gary. Remember,
right.
As much as we are a crucial part of the puzzle, it is focused around Gary. He was the reason it all sort of came around. So yeah, I'm sure he'd be happy for us to sing. It would take the pressure off him as well, especially in the drums. Like I'm in love with my car would be a nice one.
Right.
Or Roger Taylor being a great singer himself, and Brian, of course. Been a great singer too. Not anytime soon, but you never know.
When that happens, we'll have to make sure that I'm there.
The pressure's on, yeah.
So you, correct me if I'm wrong, you are now endorsed by Brian May Guitars, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Congratulations on that, dude.
Cheers, man, yeah. It was long overdue, but the guys, it was set up a couple of tours ago. We've got three Brian May guitars over here. Including my own guitar that I bring over from the UK, and we have another three back in the UK. We have six in total, I think we've got. Different tunings, a couple of spares. So yeah, it's awesome to be endorsed by Brian May Guitars. You know, it's an honour. So
when's the last time you saw him?
Live.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Brian May. To be honest, I've never seen him with Queen. I was a little bit too young to catch him with Queen.
Right.
But I've seen him on his solo gigs. Seen him in Glasgow a couple of times. Early 90s. I know some of the guys in the band. I've seen him with Paul Rodgers when he did Queen and Paul Rodgers.
Right.
More recently, but a while ago. But I remember.
Did you see him when he had Cozy Powell drumming?
It was on. Unfortunately, Cozy Powell had just died. Okay. So he had Eric Singer standing in for him.
Wow.
And they opened with Since You've Been Gone as a tribute to Cozy. And his sound was incredible. It was monstrous. A friend of mine knew his guitar technician, so we got in just to have a listen to the sound, you know, sort of the sound check and whatnot.
Right.
And he had the wall of Vox amplifiers, but his sound was massive. And to this day, it's probably the best guitar sound I've ever heard live. It was incredible. Wouldn't like to have been standing in front of it. It was so loud, but it was truly amazing.
Have you met him in person since you've been endorsed?
No.
So what do we need to do to arrange that?
I don't know. It'd be awesome, of course. You know, he's a hero of mine, but probably wouldn't get much out. It'd be you know, starstruck.
Yeah.
One of them, you know. But yeah, huge Brian May fan, obviously.
So when you meet him, which I'm sure you, as a fan of what you do, I look at it like, at some point I think you guys need to play on the same stage at the same time with Brian and Roger.
I'd love to thank him, of course, for putting out such great music and being a huge influence. I mean, I got Queen Greatest Hits when I was 10 years old, wore it out, and seeing the live concert they did at Wembley in '86 as a young guy, that was a huge inspiration for me to pick up. I'd already just started dabbling with guitar, but when I saw that I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. So it's quite ironic that I'm now touring in a Queen tribute show. It's kind of weird how things have came around,
Not coincidental, yeah. Is Wembley '86, that to me is like the greatest concert that ever happened.
Yeah.
Is that, in your opinion, like where does that rank in greatest concerts?
Yeah, that was a big deal because at the time there was only 4 TV channels in the UK, and I think it was on Channel 4, and Channel 4 had just recently launched. That was a big deal to have that concert on television at that time, so everybody watched it.
Wow.
And it was incredible. And then you had the Highlander film at the same time. They just did the soundtrack and the album, A Kind of Magic, and it was just an amazing time for music, But that was a huge moment and a huge inspiration for me, seeing that, and it was like, right, that's what I want to do. If I can do something like that, make a living at it, I'm happy. It was
the epiphany scene.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And,
if you could go back in time to any other concert, not Queen, at any other concert, any other band, any other tour, who would you go back to see?
I go back and see, there was a huge fan of Van Halen, huge fan of Randy Rhoads, guitar player. Ozzy played Glasgow 1980. I think it was one of his very first solo shows after leaving Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
With Randy Rhoads and guitar, they played the Glasgow Apollo. I think it was 1980. I'd love to go back and see that.
Wow.
Because he didn't know how he was going to be received by the audience after leaving Black Sabbath. So that'd be one. And I'd love to have seen Van Halen supporting Black Sabbath in '78 on their first tour.
That was the one where Van Halen, by all accounts, like blows Black Sabbath off the
I think so, yeah. Wow. What has it? And they played the same venue in Glasgow, Scotland, where I'm from, the Apollo, which is sadly no longer there. But yeah, it was. I think that'd be an amazing concert to see that.
When the time machine gets invented, we'll both go back together.
Also a huge fan of Dream Theater, and I was lucky enough to see them on their very first European tour in Glasgow in a small club called the Cat House.
Really?
Around about 1993. And I was standing right in front of Petrucci, another big influence on me, John Petrucci. So that was a pretty special concert that I actually got to see.
No kidding.
And a band that I loved as well, band King's X.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it King's X or King's 10? You guys say King's X?
King's X.
I was lucky enough to support King's X when I did my solo CD.
Did you support them on the Odyssey tour?
It was on, what tour was it now? It was around 2000.
So, yeah, Odyssey tour would have been a few years later. Yeah, I can't think of the name of the album,
but that was a cool moment, just seeing like Ty Tabor and the guys just standing at the side of the stage watching, me do the gig, do my support slot. It was pretty awesome.
Were you in your solo band?
Yeah, it was Planet 8. Yeah,
Planet 8.
Yeah, it was under my name, David Brockett, Planet 8, and it was a club gig. It was maybe 300-400 people. It was a small show, but it was awesome. It was sold out, and it was a good experience.
How about some of your other influences? How about Gary Mullen and Vinnie Moore?
Big fan of Vinnie Moore. I mean, I got into. My dad had a huge album collection. He loved the Rolling Stones, so got onto the Rolling Stones, Queen, Van Halen, Iron Maiden, and then with the sort of late 80s, all the sort of virtuoso stuff. I was a huge fan of Vinnie Moore. His first 3 albums, especially Mind's Eye, Time Odyssey, and Meltdown. Other guys like Tony McAlpine, Maximum Security. It was a great album. Also a huge fan of Steve Moss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Purple and Kansas.
Yeah, but before that stuff, even Dixie Dregs and then his solo stuff. An album that had a huge impact was Southern Steel.
Okay.
Came out around 88, 89, something like that. In my opinion, Steve Moss is an absolute genius. I just love Steve Moss. But yeah, Vinnie, got to meet him a few years back as well. Huge fan of Vinnie. Love his playing. Managed to steal some of his licks over the years.
I laugh because Vinnie was on this show and I asked him something like this. I said, Vinnie, did you ever get frustrated when people steal from you? He's like, And I, because basically where I was going was like, I know anyone who listens to Vinnie Moore is influenced by something that he does. I heard that he came to see you play recently. Is that true?
That's that. I thought I saw him. He lives in Delaware, I believe.
Right.
And we've played Delaware quite a few times. And I'm not 100%, but it looked like him. And I thought, I've actually had a bit of an injury. I had a sore thumb. And I was thinking, this would be a terrible night for somebody like Vinnie to show up and I've got a sore thumb and can't really play properly. And I didn't look up, and after 2 numbers I looked to the side, stage left, and it looked like he's a difficult guy to miss, the long black hair and all that. I thought, shit, is that Vinnie Moore? So possibly.
Right.
But yeah, that'd be crazy. But I know he's a bit of a Jeff Beck fan. That'd probably be like him playing in front of Jeff Beck. It's pretty nerve-wracking.
Really?
Yeah. But,
you get nervous on stage?
Of course, yeah.
Really?
Everybody you get nervous before you go on, but if you were to play in front of one of your guitar heroes, that'd be tricky, man. You can turn that nervous energy into something good, but yeah, we'd be on edge, let's say.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, but Vinnie's awesome. Love Vinnie, man. Tremendous. He's still doing it. Still doing his thing. The UFO, still putting the solo albums out, doing his clinics. His instructional videos, huge influence, is back in the day.
Which leads me to my next point. When is your instructional video and when do your clinics come out?
Well, I've done a few clinics back in the day, used to teach quite a bit. It's just getting the time these days. We're always on the road, pretty much on the road, 24/7. We get a couple of weeks here and there, so it is difficult to take on students because you just can't commit to anything.
I would encourage, and I know nothing about the business of it,
Yep.
but I don't play anything, but we have yet another generation of young kids that are going to want to play Queen music.
Yeah.
I think it falls upon you to be the one to teach them, here's how you're going to have to play Brian's licks. Brian's not going to put out an instructional video at this point, I don't believe.
Well, you did do one back in the 80s, but yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
So I think it's going to fall upon you. Like, if you want to play these licks, boys and girls, here's how you're going to have to do it.
Yeah, well, YouTube, there's a million guys playing the stuff out there, but yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I should put something together.
Well, at least on your website, I would encourage that because I really
right. Okay, I'll have a look at that, man.
I think the torch has since been passed to you. It's like you're going to have to be the master teacher of.
Right. Okay.
I don't say it if I don't mean it.
Yep.
So,
okay.
What's the ultimate goal for One Night of Queen? If there's one venue to play or one, just like what would be the ultimate you cannot top?
A couple of gigs we've done well. We've played some great venues over the years. We've played Hyde Park in London. The Proms in the Park, 40,000 people. We've played stadiums in Germany. We've played all over the world. There's a couple of gigs. There's a gig in Glasgow called the R.Y.A.N, which is a famous venue. It's not a massive venue. It only holds maybe 2,000. Okay. But it's just a famous venue. It's got a great atmosphere. It's low ceiling, wooden floor. The place actually bounces when it's busy, when people are jumping around. It's awesome. Everyone's played there that you could think of.
How haven't you played there in your own home country?
I don't know. It's just kind of been more of a theatre. It's more of a theatre show. The R.Y.A.N is more of a rock and roll venue.
Okay.
There's talk of it. There's talk of perhaps booking a show there at Christmas.
Oh my gosh!
So if we could do that, that'd be a bucket list one to tick off. I would love to play the Royal Albert Hall in London, which is obviously a famous, iconic venue. But apart from that,
the Philharmonic there.
Yes, such an amazing Radio City, New York's another one.
Yeah.
Really famous venue. But yeah, we've been pretty lucky over the years. We've played some really, really cool venues all over the place. So I'm pretty happy with what we've done so far. But yeah, there's still a few yet to tick off the list.
I hear you. Let me go to. I have a couple signature segments. There's one that I've had for about a year and some change, and I'm just starting another one. So I'm just going to ask you to fill in the blanks on this. So this signature segment is called In the Year 2525.
Yep.
You know the song, right? In the year of 2525.
Yeah.
That is, of course, if man is still alive. When the name David Brockett comes up, what do you want people to say?
Oh, that's a tough one. Put me on the spot.
I don't ask easy questions.
Yeah, well, listen, to be remembered as a good guitar player, a guy that was good at what he did, to leave some decent music behind, I'd be happy with that. I think, yeah, just known as a good player. I love playing guitar. It's what I do. You know, I've been involved in all aspects of the music business since I was 17, from retail right through to writing for film, television. I just love playing, you know.
Yeah.
So to remember there's somebody that could play and had a good feel, good sound, I'd be happy with that, man.
Phenomenal. Here we go. Next question. Clear my throat and warm up my singing voice. In the year 2525.
Lovely tone, man. Lovely
Right.
tone. Yeah.
See, this is why it's a good signature segment. I'm not afraid to laugh. That is, of course, if man is still alive, when the name Brian May comes up. How should he be spoken of?
I think Brian May is already cemented in history as a rock legend. He's immortal. So if we're still here, Brian May will still be around. His name will be spoken with the greats. The guy's written too many classic, iconic riffs to be forgotten. He's a legend, living legend.
There you go.
And
where does the
long may
Brian May
continue.
statue get placed? I don't know if there is one. I'm not sure.
Well, he's due to be knighted in the UK. Most people eventually, well, not most people, but some people are lucky enough to be knighted, honoured by the Queen and all that. He's probably due one because he's just for his services to rock music.
Yeah.
He's a legend, living legend. Yeah.
All right. Would you like to sing the next verse? In the year 2529?
I've not done my warm-ups, mate, so I don't want to hurt your listeners' ears.
All right. So in the year 2525, that is, of course, if man is still alive, when the name One Night of Queen comes up, what do you want people to say?
Well, basically, best Queen tribute out there. You know, just a great show with lots of energy and made a lot of people happy. And let them experience Queen, you know. A lot of people couldn't see them live the first time. Yeah.
I think you got it. Let me go to Ryan Whitting's This or That. So I give you two things. You just choose this or that. Killer Queen or Fairy King?
Killer Queen.
Why is that?
A combination of just, you talk about the songs, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Love the song, like playing the song. Reminds me of the first time I seen it on television, on Top of the Pops, which was a famous British music programme back in the day. It brings back a lot of memories, and it's a classic track.
All right. 70s Queen or 80s Queen?
Man, that's a tough one. Oh, they really need to choose one there.
You can pass. You can say.
I would have to say both, man.
Okay.
Both is too difficult. Because I love the early stuff, you know. My favourite album's probably Sheer Heart Attack. But, I mean, some of the stuff like Wembley 86, you know, it's difficult, man.
Alright, that's not an easy
Couldn't
one.
choose.
Alright. Green kilt or red kilt?
Green.
I don't know what the colours mean, but I know they're different colours. What's the significance between the colours of kilts?
Just different tartans, man. The green ones, there's a green tartan, which is the black watch, green and black, plus green's probably my favourite colour.
Okay.
So it's a no-brainer, green for me. I was married in a black watch tartan kilt, which is green, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see different colours and I think there's got to be some significance, I just don't know what they are. Alright, here we go. Planet 8 or Planet of the Apes?
Planet 8, of course, man. Planet 8.
Planet 8 is not just an album, correct? It encompasses a lot more.
Yeah, album, website, band, live. The band was Planet 8, my solo band. And we will come back in some form at some point. I'm planning on doing some shows in the UK. We've got a couple of weeks off in the summer, doing some, let's say, more challenging to play music, progressive instrumental stuff, so that might go under the name of Planet 8.
Alright, sounds good. I Want It All or Hammer to Fall?
Tough one again, man. Ooh. Both classics. Probably I Want It All just for the guitar solo, the fast guitar solo.
Alright. Mario Brothers or Mario Kart?
Mario Brothers, big Mario fan back in the day. Mario World, you know, the platform game.
Yeah.
But Mario Kart was excellent as well.
Do you still play games?
Occasionally, on tour. I've got a laptop with some games there.
What are you into right now?
What am I playing? I love Dark Souls. So you hit the Dark
yeah.
series. Yeah, I've been playing some of the old ones, Dark Souls 2. It's sucking up far too much time than is healthy, but you've got to do something to pass the time at the back of a tour bus.
That usually happens sometimes.
Yep.
2 questions left. One Vision or One Night of Queen?
What was that? Sorry, One Vision or One Night of Queen?
Right.
I've got to say One Night of Queen. It's my job.
Yeah, found that. Yeah, good. Because I think so highly of your band and the show and all that. It's like
we appreciate it, man.
I'm going to keep showing up, so you guys got to keep doing it.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, last question. This is always the toughest one. R.Y.A.N Whitting, that's me.
Yep.
Or Outwitting?
It's got to be you, mate, innit? It's got to be.
Why is that?
Come on, man. You've been coming to see the band for years. You're doing this thing. You're helping promote the cause. Come on, man. It's a no-brainer.
I thought it was because I have the best faux hawk in the crowd.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that as well.
David, it has just been an honor not only for this interview here and all the shows throughout the years to meet you guys, and just everything has just been so amazing that as a fan, I'll speak for the thousands of fans that don't get to see you and meet you. Just thank you so much for keeping the name and the songs and the music of Queen alive and well, and we just absolutely love
what
you're doing. We can't thank you enough.
It's our pleasure, and long may it continue. We've all got other little projects as well. This is our main gig, but yeah, you can find a lot of my stuff online. I've got a website with bits and pieces and all that. But going back to what you just said, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate you guys coming and watching us 17 years. And still going strong. It's fantastic. We would never have thought we'd have lasted so long. So yeah, it's an honour.
Where should fans go to find your stuff? I know you're on Instagram. Is it Brockstar70?
I have a website which is you can get it through my Facebook site. There's a link on there.
Okay.
I can give you I don't know the name off the top of my head. It used to be davybrockett.com, but it's changed. I have a SoundCloud page. I've got a YouTube channel. There's plenty of stuff out there.
Okay, so those listening, David Brockett all over the place. Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, find them. You won't be disappointed at all. David, I just have to say thank you for everything, and thank you for being on Rockin You All Night, where we talk all things rock, all things metal, and all things with strings. And if you don't like it,
then you must not rock.
there you have it, another episode of Rockin You All Night. Be sure to follow Rockin You All Night on SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. The music on this episode is provided by Billy Moffat. Follow Billy Moffat on SoundCloud for all of Billy Moffat's music. And for more on David Brockett, follow David Brockett on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and SoundCloud. We'll see you when the sun shines again. Until then, follow along, leave comments, click like and subscribe, and remember, we've only just begun.